women make it such a big deal that they have to cook and clean for their husbands because that's so degrading and they're so above that. Yet the maids or nannies or cleaners that they hire, that they'll pay pennies on the dollar for to do that, that's okay. That's feminism for you.
First wave feminism sought to give women men's rights without men's responsibilities. Second wave feminism sought to reduce or eliminate women's responsibilities. And third wave feminism seeks to increase men's responsibilities. And that's really the way I see it.
Feminism real life told women you don't need to be responsible for yourself. Completely disregard how you represent and present yourself. You don't need to take accountability or any kind of responsibility for yourself. I don't like that. I hate it.
House cleaning before we get started. For those who have been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Get it cracking in the comments. Everybody in your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
Women make it such a big deal that they have to cook and clean for their husbands because that's so degrading and they're so above that. Yet the maids or nannies or cleaners that they hire, that they'll pay pennies on the dollar for to do that, that's okay. That's feminism for you. Less than minimum wage those ladies make. That's feminism for you. They will يتكبروا على cooking for their husband and their children. The food that is their sustenance, that's going to keep them going, should be made out of love. I cannot explain to you how اللقمة من إيد أمي, bro, ما بتسوى الدنيا. It just بتسوى الدنيا, sorry. Like nothing is worth that. And you are acting all high and mighty and above that, like you're doing God's good work, you know? But you'll pay a girl who left her family to come pay her crumbs for her to barely live on it and send it back to her. That's feminism for you, by the way. This is why I say I'm anti-feminism, because that's literally what feminism is, in a nutshell. And fight me all you want in the comments. I'll give you a million other examples why I'm against feminism.
I think she makes very good points, and this woman clearly isn't from the West. This shows you how pervasive the ideology of feminism is. It's almost everywhere in the world now, permeating its toxicity in such a way that even women who are not of the West are speaking out against the ills of feminists and feminism. The whole ideology to me stems from white supremacy. I've said it once and I'll say it again. White supremacy and feminism are brothers and sisters. You can't put space in between them. And I think that this woman really highlights the fact that you have women so staunchly entrenched in feminism that they'll, with their whole chest, state that they're staunchly entrenched in feminism, right? I'm a feminist. But then when you look at how they treat women, their counterparts, it's atrocious. You cannot be for women's rights for you, but ignore how capitalism treats women who are not in your same economic bracket. You cannot ignore that. It's hypocrisy on the highest level. For you to sit there and tout and beat your chest that you're a feminist and you're for women's rights, you're for equalizing the field for women, but yet those very women that come and take care of your kids, take care of your household, you pay them pennies on the dollars, but you will get in front of a camera and say the wage gap between men and women is something that shouldn't exist. But what about the wages you pay those women who cannot etch out a living off the wages you give them? A lot of times those women are still on some type of social program, but they'll come to your home, take care of your kids, clean your home, look after you and your family, but they cannot sustain themselves through a living wage, a livable wage, because you are not paying them. You're not paying them what they need to survive in a way outside of just basic survival. It's just below what it takes to have a living wage. And as a feminist, you cannot tell me you're okay with that. That's why I say feminism is just nonsense. Do I believe that when the conception of feminism started, it was a good thing? Kinda, because feminism comes from the most privileged woman to ever walk the earth, the white American woman. And I cannot, and I refuse to believe that these women were oppressed in the system of white supremacy when they owned other human beings. You're not going to get me to ever believe that those women were oppressed. Those women thrived in white supremacy and patriarchy just like white men. And this woman is not a Western woman, and she's highlighting the fact that feminism is so pervasive, so toxic, that it has reached Eastern lands, Eastern ideology, and just got in there and festered and boiled underneath their culture and made it something that resembles the West. And let me be the first one to tell you, what we got going on in the West is detrimental to family, detrimental to stability, and it's gonna crumble the empire from within. So it's good. It does my heart good to see a woman who's not from the West being able to speak out on feminism, because a lot of times people like me and other women who are of the West who speak out against feminism, we're told to shut up. We're just, the women are told that they're centering men and they're pick me's, and they are what do they call it? Male identified. And men, we're told we're just misogynists or practicing misandry noir, and that we just don't want to see women with voices. But it's really good to see a woman of the East, especially of a culture that she comes from, speak about feminism.
First wave feminism sought to give women men's rights without men's responsibilities. Second wave feminism sought to reduce or eliminate women's responsibilities. And third wave feminism seeks to increase men's responsibilities. And that's really the way I see it. When all the mixed messages are tallied up, we find that men can't win for losing. They still bear the majority of the burdens they did 100 years ago. To one degree or another, they are still expected to pay on the first date and onward, even months or years into the relationship. Still expected to be the higher earner in the relationship, still expected to pay most or all of the household bills, still expected to be at least as educated as their female partner, if not more, still expected to be the one to buy the ring and to buy the flowers and then to buy the chocolates on Valentine's Day, still expected to put themselves between a woman and any danger, still expected to take responsibility for themselves and others, especially women and children. The primary difference is they aren't allowed to expect any thanks, gratitude, respect, status, or reward for it. In fact, these expectations in the current zeitgeist aren't a continuation of the traditional masculine roles of yesteryear. They only exist so men can atone for their collective historical wrongdoings. That's why. That's how they've changed the narrative, right? We expect the same things of men, but only because men owe it to us for how horrible men were in the past.
She's absolutely 100% right. I have told y'all myself that feminism is an ideology of punishment. It's used to punish men as a collective for perceived wrongs done of the past.
I'm just here to ask, what the hell are we doing to our boys and to our men? Aren't we demanding that they embrace two completely different paradigms? Contradictory paradigms. In one, girls and women are their equals, every bit as tough, capable, resilient, self-reliant, and powerful as any boy or man. And in the other, girls and women are so vulnerable and fragile that they need to be treated with special gentleness and consideration, extra protection and respect. And they are so incapable that they need boys and men to rescue them from anything that might endanger or upset them.
Feminism is the ultimate contradiction. In one hand, strong, independent, don't need a man, but in the other hand, you need to be 6 feet tall, protect me, you need to out-earn me, you also need to lead me, but without telling me what to do or putting me in my place. You also have to be the one to sacrifice yourself on the altar if danger arises. But also, in the other hand, you are my number one predator, right? This is the pervasiveness of feminism, right? One hand, men are the ultimate predators of women, and on the other hand, we're the ultimate protectors. It's a contradiction, man. Feminism is the ultimate contradiction.
This is really what we're asking boys and men to do when we demand that they take collective responsibility, even as middle schoolers, for violence against women and girls. Collective responsibility, collective blame. And we're asking them to embrace that paradigm that even though women are equal, men still need to do for them.
Look, it's a rigged game. And if you sit at the table of feminism and play, just know the deck is stacked against you. You're not meant to win. Feminism is catered to a select group of women that somehow all women embrace, but it's really for a select group of women, right? The women who can get in front of any other woman and say, I'm oppressed. We're oppressed. We need to do X, 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 and we need to make sure we hold men accountable for X, 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 X. But also, I'm going to go home to my stable home, to my husband, to my family, and I'm going to make sure that I have generational things in perpetuity. I'm not going to dismantle my family. I'm not going to tell my man that he's not needed. I'm not going to hurt or harm my boys, right? This is what the small select group of feminists who are at the top of the hierarchy say to the ones below them, because the ones below them are the foot soldiers. They're the ones who put in the work. They're the ones who are the sacrificial lambs on the altar of feminism. While these women get to be ideologues and preach the message without practicing it. They go home to stable family structures. They have husbands. They have children that respect their husbands. But for the modern black woman in particular, she doesn't have those things. She's the fool that is the beast of burden for feminism. Feminism solely rests on the shoulders of the modern black woman. And I cannot talk today. The modern black woman, right? She's the beast of burden for feminism. The white women, they go home to stability, while the black woman has this completely dismantled her community, her family structure, and she's alone. She's unprotected. She's uncovered. That's why she's the most evicted. That's why she's in the most debt. That's why she has the most STDs and STIs. She's a woman that's completely unprotected. And the white feminists know it. They know it. And there's not one benefit black women receive from white feminists, right? Name me the law, the bill, the social consciousness that white feminists have solely done for the benefit of black women in particular. You cannot name it for me. There's no rights, there's no bills, there's no social movement that white feminists do solely for the benefit of black women only. You will never find it. I cannot point to a time in history where this exists, because white feminists see black women as tools to be used. And when they're done with those tools, they're going to break them.
Feminism real life told women you don't need to be responsible for yourself. Completely disregard how you represent and present yourself. You don't need to take accountability or any kind of responsibility for yourself. I don't like that. I hate it. That's why I'm just not a fan of modern day feminism, because they'll back this shit up like, believe all women this, believe all women that. Fuck no. Just because you said it does not mean I'm going to believe you. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? And just because you're a female, or just because we share the same parts, right, does not mean that you're incapable of fucking lying. Women are not incapable of fucking lying simply because they're women. We are humans. Humans lie, regardless. It's like modern day feminism told women that you can have the same exact toxic traits as a man, but like it's in a woman, so it's totally fine. Like, no, what's toxic is fucking toxic. It doesn't matter who is doing it. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter their religion. It don't matter their sexuality. Wrong is fucking wrong.
Feminism deifies women and also infantilizes them at the same time. That's why I say it's the ultimate contradiction in ideology, right? It's a paradigm that on its face falls apart when you start to peel it apart. In one hand, women are deities. They're above men. Men are inferior. They don't need men. Men are the cause of the woes and ills of society. And on the other hand, women are infantilized. They're so helpless and innocent that they need protection and they need safe spaces and things cut out and opportunities made just for them, right? This is what feminism teaches and preaches. It's a contradiction. On one hand, women are deities. On the other hand, their helpless children. This is why I don't believe in feminism. This is why I say feminism has almost completely destroyed the black community, because it cannot stand. You cannot have an ideology on one hand that makes you the supreme warrior badass, and on the other hand makes you the victim that everyone needs to protect and carve out safe spaces for. It's an ideology designed for punishment and retribution. It's not an ideology designed for anything positive, to push anything forward for the benefit of women. It's only a select few white feminists that thrive in feminism. And guess what they do when they go home and close their door? They forget that shit. While the black women, the beast of burden, is out here pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and has absolutely nothing to show in return for her efforts. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Get it cracking in the comments. I'll see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out of here. See y'all in the next one. Y'all better stop listening to this crazy shit.
Like Jesus.